Hey, what's up, guys? This is Elo Speaks back again with another video. So, I wanted to talk about the recent news as regarding Kwame Brown and the Stephen A. Smith feud. So, recently, Stephen A. Smith had responded to Kwame Brown, and to be honest, I don't want to go too much into what Stephen A. Smith had to say. But to be honest, it was on some bitch shit, if you ask me. He was just, all he did was lambaste, shame, and try to like clown Kwame Brown even more and show all his low lights and stuff, all the the bumbling stuff that Kwame Brown was doing while he was in his tenure in an NBA career, playing 12 years. And I expect nothing less than Stephen A. Smith. I wanted to make this video to like detail how much of a clown Stephen A. Smith is and how much of a sensitive bitch he is. And I try to not curse on this platform because I really don't want to do it, but when I'm like pissed off at like certain stupidity or hypocrisy as regards to that stuff, I just like have to call it out for what it is. What Stephen A. Smith doing is on some bitch shit. He's a feminine asshole. When I see him do stuff like that, it just makes me sick when he constantly attacks certain athletes that he doesn't like, and he goes like ape shit all throughout the video, lambasting them, critiquing them, doing all this unnecessary loudmouth crap that he does, and it's just sickening. When it comes to the Kwame Brown situation, there are some things that is undeniable. I agree with Stephen A. Smith, but when it comes to like certain things, he just went too far with it. When it came to specifically the Kwame Brown situation, he went too far with it to the end where it wasn't even about basketball no more. It was just personal. Now, he did say that I'd never critiqued him personally. I think he's a good dude, blah, blah, blah. Stephen A. Smith always does that crap when he's about to critique a particular athlete. He talks well of them before he like digs in and just like take his pound of flesh. So it's the same old with Stephen A. Smith. So it's nothing new with him. But when it came to this situation, he's been bad-mouthing Kwame Brown for years. Even after he left the league and retired, they still bad-mouthed this man for years and talk so much trash. So you watch, if you could go on YouTube and search up Stephen A. Smith, Kwame Brown, this guy has talked about Kwame Brown in the lowest way possible. So to say that it wasn't personal, which is an outright lie. You could hear it in his tone, the way he say Kwame Brown, like saying it like that, just saying how he's a scrub, saying he's a bona fide scrub, he has small hands, he unathletic, he has 2 right feet, saying stuff like that, that's personal. I don't care what he say. Now granted, was he the best basketball player? No, but for him to play 12 years in the league, he couldn't have been that bad. Was there exponential potential that people expected from him? Sure, of course. I'm not denying that. He is a bust. And he doesn't deny that he's a bust either. But at that point, we've never seen a number 1 first round pick that had like this type of like negative exposure based off narratives that you created. Nobody focused so much on Kwame Brown the way you have. Whenever his name comes up, he's in infamy for biggest bust in NBA history, and there's a whole bunch of NBA busts that we don't even give as much attention to like that because they just don't make headways. For some reason, when you bring up Kwame Brown, you think Stephen A. Smith because the way that he was lambasting the way he was lambasting Kwame Brown throughout his whole career. Now I get it, he wasn't a good basketball player, but he was decent enough to still be in the league for that amount of time. He still made money. He able to take care of his family. He made over $60 million, so he could have been that bad. Now, was he a potential, like a high potential to see what he could have done? Sure. But I feel like if he was on another team with another management or somebody that was like really invested into him, because rumor had it Jordan didn't really want Kwame Brown. They were using it as a bargaining chip to trade for another piece for the Wizards team, but that's a whole nother story. But I digress. When it comes to that situation, I feel like Kwame Brown should have been in a different situation. His career probably would have looked a whole lot different. And there was one particular ESPN commentator who said that. He said, if Kwame Brown had went to this particular team or got traded here, he probably would have been better for him. Who knows? But one that won't know that because of the mental damage that Jordan did when he berated him in practice and, trash talked him to oblivion for a young, basically 17, 18-year-old kid. And the athlete who said that, he was saying, if I got drafted, I think he was a football player. He said if I got drafted to this particular team or was on a bad franchise, I would not have been the player that I am today. So getting drafted to a particular franchise makes a whole lot of difference. So, it is what it is. I don't fault him for that too much. Like, do I say it's not totally his fault? Of course not. He shares some blame in it. I think he takes responsibility for that. He didn't show up. He didn't perform how he thought he probably would have thought he would perform. So it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, this guy is retired. He's not bothering nobody. He's not trying to get back into the league. He's not causing no type of issues. But yet you guys still try to invoke his name. For whatever reason, you guys try to invoke your name. Pussy ass niggas like Stephen A. Smith, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, y'all still talking about him for what? There's no reason to talk about him. He's out of the league. He's out of mind. He's out of sight. Nobody is talking about him, but y'all brung him up. I understand Steven Jackson played with him, but still, there's no reason for you to bring him up. And especially that clown Gilbert Arenas, they brung him up for no reason. And then when he clapped back and responded, now all y'all guys are shook and say, damn, I didn't think he was gonna respond back. Of course, like if you've been getting dissed and disrespected for damn near 20 years, you tell me you're not gonna respond back? Come on now, bro. So when it came to that situation, I don't blame him. Like, at first, like, the profanity and all the personal attacks, was it going too far? Probably a little bit, but hey, he probably been holding that in for years, and he probably looked at that as the right time to respond and clap back, so he just let it all out. And I can't fault him for that. When you piss somebody off or you offend somebody, you can't tell them how to react. So when it comes to that situation, Stephen A. Smith, he a clown. I don't respect him as regards to that situation. He's a great entertaining minstrel. I give him that. He's an entertaining clown. But when it comes to his basketball takes, I don't really particularly like some of his takes. I agree and disagree. He's biased. He has certain leanings to particularly players who's able to feed him information on what's going on in the league. And if you're not able to give him information or won't do a sit down or interview with him, he's gonna lambaste you in the media and attack you personally if you don't give him any type of stories, leaks, or type of stuff like that. And then on top of that, if he rocks with you heavy, then he's not gonna berate you in the media. He's gonna talk glowing with you, even if you have a particularly bad game. And he can be checked. He can be checked. He can be checked. I still remember that time when they ripped his nuts off on live TV with the Ray Rice situation. He got publicly neutered when it came to that situation, when he talked about the Ray Rice situation, saying that females should have put their hands on men, which was true, and I agree with him with that. But when he said that, they ripped his nuts off and neutered him and said you can't do that, suspended him, and he been a good old boy ever since. So I don't respect him for that. He has a big enough name to where if he were to leave ESPN, he could create his own platform or create his own podcast and people will listen. But he's too much of a scared little bitch to do that. So he's always gonna be ESPN lapdog and always stay down with ESPN and be at their beck and call whenever. This guy works so many hours. It's like he's the only person working at ESPN. How they look about it, especially when they have fired so much people a couple of years ago. I miss the situation. So when it comes to that situation, Stephen A. Smith is a clown, bro. I don't respect this dude at all, bro. When he the way he talks about the game of basketball, you would think he was a Hall of Famer in the NBA or something like this. This guy was a clown. He was collecting splinters in his ass in college. He's not a good basketball player himself. And same thing with Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna go into Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless just said he was a scrub and kept it moving, and right there he just moved along. And that's not, he still dissed Kwame Brown, but it wasn't that serious. It's like, all right, we're gonna go on to, like, you know, more important matters, and that's it. But Stephen A. Smith have to keep harping back to Kwame Brown and how bad he is, and it's like, bro, he's out the league. Why is this still a discussion? Why are you talking about him for no reason? And that's where people is gonna look at that like, yo, you trying to bully him, and now that, you know, kid's trying to stand up for himself and respond back to you, now you're shocked and surprised, and he's saying he's using profanity, he's going professional. Nah, ain't no. He's using however he responds is how he responds. If you can't deal with it, then shut the hell up. If you're gonna deal with it, deal with it. But the way you deal with it is bitch made it pussy. So I can't respect that. But again, it is what it is. You have feminine ways about you that, you know, I don't respect. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't see how this situation between him and Kwame Brown will be ironed out. I don't think it's ever gonna be ironed out. But it looked like since Kwame Brown's been on a tirade lately, just responding to any type of people that's like looking at him greasy, he's gonna respond in kind. So, you know, it is what it is. He's been doing that to Stephen A. Clown. He's been doing that to Boyce Watkins. Doing that to Jamel Hill, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Gilbert Arenas, whoever. Anybody that disses him, they're gonna get smoked, and I don't blame him for that. This guy's tired of getting disrespected, and if you're gonna keep disrespecting him, then he's gonna finally snap. And however he handled it, he was just messaging Stephen A. Jackson on IG talking about, let's meet up in a certain area to go fight, and, you know, it didn't happen. But, you know, that's probably why it come down to. I hope it doesn't, but hey, when you disrespect a man, he's gonna handle it the way he feel like he need to handle it. I hope it don't get to blows or guns or somebody losing their life, but still, you just not gonna tolerate somebody disrespecting you and just like deal with it. You're a man by the end of the day. So I don't fault Kwame Brown at all. If he keep going at Stephen A. Smith's neck, you're a pussy and a bitch. I don't respect him, and that's all I got to say on the matter. This is Ito Speaks out.